themselves, really.
Yeah.
They didn't really get involved. She was a hippie. She was a hippie.
Hippies, you know that's a funny word.
She did go on rallies in the 60s.
Do you know that the hippie word was used to deride people so it was really, if you watch the Battle of Beanfield, it's what the coppers and the authorities called the New Age travellers, the people who chose to live in vans rather than take part in the real world, were labelled hippies in order to discredit them.
The guy that gave me mushrooms.
Anyway, so when I met you on the internet, I'm trying to remember because I meet a lot of people because I'm a bit...
You remember the first thing you saw to draw attention to me?
I don't. I'd like to know.
I don't know.
But I know that
it was just
I think
stories.
you'd posted something about haters, and I said, well, it's because they're narcissists and they only care about themselves and what they can make out of you. And there's a lot of them about, because if you look at the figures, I think it was, in fact I could look them up on thingy, and I will. I think it was something like 11% in 1974 were considered narcissists, but now it's 80%. So there's a piece on the rise of narcissism. And the problem with that is that means that voters have become it, your friends, at least a few of them do.
80% of it.
Yeah, and that means that they're in power above you.
80% of something is not good.
So narcissism increasing in modern Western societies and has been referred to as the narcissism epidemic. The endorsement rate for this statement, I am an important person, has increased from 12% to 77 to 80%. 77 to 80% of people believe they're important. Now I don't think I'm important. I think that...
And that's why you're important.
But I think combined we are. The way we are with each other is important. But as long as people are chasing individualism and not thinking as a collective, we're fucked. We're doomed. And the innocent people that aren't narcissists are doomed because they get projected, they get gaslit by the narcissists. It's happening day in, day out. It's happened to me. It's happening to you. I've seen it happen to you. You know, people thinking...
Yesterday.
Yeah, assuming shit that's just not true.
Someone stole something off me because they didn't like how we looked.
You need to speak up because...
Oh, sorry, are we interviewing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello. Hello.
It's my trick, remember?
Oh, your stupid little trick, Walter. You got me on that one.
But it gets you being honest, because... and you're honest anyway. You're honest. People misunderstand you because you have bipolar disorder, which means you're either really fed up and angry, or you're really up and party-like. And then when you're really up and party-like, and someone then sweeps that rug from under you as they try, that puts you back down there.
I just want to have fun.
That's the same as me. Be nice to people.
It appears today that you need to put in quite a conscious effort to be happy and have fun. It takes planning, and often anything takes planning, including getting fucked up.
True. So would you say, and I'm planting ideas in your head here, that you're, because you're obviously predisposed with bipolar to mental illness, because bipolar...
Oh, I feel like shit today.
Well, would you say that your reaction, your depression, is a rational response to the modern world?
Yes, I think absolutely. Yeah,
that's how I feel, and it's anxiety when people feel that they've done something wrong. They haven't.
I think the whole system of things is set up for us to be depressed. It's a breeding ground for depression and mental illness.
Yeah,
society we live.
Because that keeps you as a slave. But also it's quite easy for people to say that what you're saying is not valid or not real because, oh well, he's mad. And you're not mad. Bipolar is not madness. It's not at all. It's, I mean, they call it, it's dopamine deficiency really, isn't it?
Chemical imbalance.
That's what they call it as. And then what they try to do is they try to address that imbalance with drugs, which is not right because your brain can produce what it needs.
What about talking therapy? What about exercise? What about nutrition? What about the right friends? What about the right goals?
Did you know the NHS only had 62 million quid given it to it for 4 years? Do you know how many patients they can treat with that? 200. That's it. There is no talking therapy. There's no NHS in Wales. I can't get through to my therapist.
Nobody does what they want to do anymore either.
No, because we're slaves.
9 to 5 jobs. What do you do? I hear it on the radio all the time with the BBC Radio 1 presenter all happy because he's in a job that he loves.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to be in a job. I refuse to waste any more time in my life doing a job. Yes, we need to make money, but I want to make money doing what I want to do. Yeah. Well, every time I I now I like to say to myself, I'm proud to tell people now that I am a musician and I am a rapper, and people are excited by that. But that I am telling people I'm not a telehandler. I'm telling people I don't work at a factory. I'm telling people I don't work as a delivery driver now, because yes, I do that, but that's not what I want to do, or that's not who I am. I am a musician. So when people say, "What do?" I say I'm a musician, even though it's not. It's not. It's only early stages.
Let me just slip in there. What you do and your job are two different things.
Yeah.
So whenever anyone used to ask me what I do, I used to say, "Oh, I ride a mountain bike. I like to go out," and they go, "No, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, that's boring. I fix tills." Whereas actually, I'm an EPOS projects, accounts and software development manager, and we deal with some pretty big things. But it's boring. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is, so Greg James would ask, he has to do a mandatory question of what do they do, or I do it all the time, because the first when you're getting, I love going out socialising, I love social life, and people when they're drunk or in a social setting, they open up to you more. You meet more friends that way.
Truth drug.
But when I ask them, a lot of them it's a drop of the shoulders and a monotone description of what they do, and that tells me everything about, you're spending your life and you're dropping your shoulders and you go, I'm just a this, I'm just a that, or I work in this, or I work in that, and they don't have any, they're even bored of saying it for 2 seconds of their lives.
Okay, I know this is your interview, but there's something I want to interject.
Go on then, Walter. Carry on.
Right, well, basically, we've been enslaved, so people think they need the next big car, the next whatever, the whatever, so they're now working to buy those things, and when they get them they're not happy. Well, they are initially, but then the shine fades, so they go looking. It's Buddhism, basically.
In the Bible as well, that is.
Be happy with what you've got. Don't desire, don't covet your neighbour's ox. Because fuck, my neighbour's got some nice oxes, you know what I mean?
Can I covet my neighbour's missus?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah?
As long as you don't...
Especially when I'm cleaning her windows and she's taking a shower.
As long as you don't touch it, unless it asks you to, and the husband's alright about it. But other than
as
that...
she's having a shower, can I sort of line my eye up to the boob and then sort of squeeze it from the outside of the pane of glass and pretend? Is that...
Well, it depends whether you've made a contractual agreement up front.
Yeah, but remember, I'm a window cleaner and a peeping Tom.
Oh, well, most Jehovah's Witnesses are window cleaners, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah. But I was a perverted one. I wasn't allowed to look at pornography.
So hang on.
Oh,
yes.
Can
I use your lighter?
Yeah, this is the guy that gave it to me, that gave me mushrooms, and now I've got a
So
classic.
never mind that. What you said there about not being allowed to look at pornography, that's interesting, because if you look at the Catholic Church, they fuck kids because they suppress their natural urges. I know.
Well, I certainly suppressed my urges. I was a virgin for 30 years, and I'm, I go out all the time and get told I'm a 22-year-old looking. I got girls throwing themselves at me all the time now, and
you're a challenge.
Well, people, they look at me and think you're a fucking liar when they said I was a 31-year-old virgin. I'm 34 and look 22.
Yeah.
According to some girls.
I'm 54, look 12.
You know, I don't look like a classic virgin.
You don't. You don't act like one either, to be fair.
But that was my religion. But yeah.
Were you in that religion from birth?
Yeah.
Ah, right. Indoctrinated.
No, that's not a very nice word, is it?
Is it not?
Suggests or gives me suggestions of control there, really.
Not really. Indoctrinated means a different thing, doesn't it? I think. But we'll look it up. Well,
tell me what you think indoctrinated.
Well, no, let's Google it. Let's settle the argument.
I don't like the word, that's all.
No, but
I was raised.
My son doesn't like the word moist. But,
nobody likes moist. Well, these biscuits.
What's wrong with moist?
These
Mary
cheese biscuits with the.
They're not moist.
They're not moist. They're lovely. Some of these cheese crackers. These cheese crackers. They're like sandpaper.
They're dry as a nun's crotch.
They make your fucking mouth like a fucking Gandhi's flip flop.
Parrots.
They got a nice little cream cheese centre like a bourbon.
There's nothing better than a bit of cream in your sandwich, is there?
I don't know. I don't normally like cheese, but this is doing something for me.
Okay, indoctrinated is to teach a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. Now that's a really dangerous thing, like you said, because that's what we're being with the government. Believe what we say, don't question the science, which is what science is anyway.
Why do everybody think that Jehovah's Witnesses brainwash their children.
I'm not saying that. So you expand on that for me then.
You just use the word indoctrinated.
So does that mean brainwashing? It's teach a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically.
Yeah.
But all religions do that, don't they? They say you have to have faith.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it's not a control thing.
Did I say it was? I said
no. I'm not saying you do, but I get it all the time. Yeah. My sister thinks it's a sect, and she puts it in the same category in terms of evilness as
okay. Well, if it
terrorism.
If it was, then you wouldn't be questioning it now. You wouldn't be in and out trying to make your mind up, would you?
No.
Because you are now not being uncritical. You're thinking about whether that's for you or whether. And you said something to me about devil and God, and all these riches that you're being offered are perhaps the devil.
I was thinking on the toilet. We had a day yesterday where we met an incredible person near the New Forest, near Amesbury, and I won't go. I'll go into the detail of what happened, what occurred between that. That's confidential between me, you, and him. But
yeah,
it made me.
By the way, it wasn't sex or any of that. Just in case.
We were offered something that it's not an everyday offer. You know,
right.
By someone. It's quite a big deal.
Yeah.
And it made me think of a Bible prodigy or a Bible story in the Bible about the temptations, the three temptations.
Yeah.
When Satan roamed the earth, it's a gospel.
40 days and 40 nights.
Yes, yeah. Jesus walked the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. He was hungry and he got tested by the devil 3 times. And the third test, and he passed all the tests, and eventually Satan fucked off because he was trying to get him to do an act of worship to him. He took him up to a mountain,
by his friends,
and he showed him all the riches of the world and all the kingdoms. And there was a book. Jehovah's Witnesses print loads of literature, so they really bring the Bible to life because they got all the artists in there, and they do amazing pictures. There's a hell of a lot of very fantastically talented photographers in the religion. We're now getting into film in a big way as well. Yeah. You know, we have our own studios.
I'm sure there'll be some.
We have our own studios. We do very good
film producers.
We do quality motion pictures. You know what I mean? Acting and all that. But anyway, there was this picture in my mind. It's a visual. It's called visual aids. Yeah, and it was a hand. Yeah, it was a hand like this, cupped like that. Yeah. Open up like you're begging on the street. Please give me some water, give me some money. Both hands like that, little finger to little finger, cup in, and then there was just all the nations and all the riches above it, and here you go. And it just I was just taking a leap after thinking about what we'd been offered, what this guy actually could do for us in the future. It just made me think of Satan just offering me the riches of the world.
So you're
and 3 days ago, I had tears streaming down my face as I wrote a message to my mum saying, "Mum, this is the last message I'm going to say to you. I'm absolutely beside myself writing this. I was weeping as I was writing this message to her as I was in Bristol, after my job interview for DVD. I said, I'm going to choose music. This is not going to be the year of me going back into the religion. It will be soon, but it's not going to be this year. And so I've made my decision. I'm not pursuing my religion. I was going to, but I'm not.
Would you say you put it on hold?
Yes, but since then, I've had this opportunity, and I'm not. You know, I just feel it's supernatural stuff sometimes because, you know, there I have made my decision, and then suddenly I get offered that. It's like, well, here you go, here's your reward. But what kind of reward is it? Is it a reward or is it a pull?
Okay.